What's up, FOA squad? I'm Anthony, and welcome to our channel, Life with Anthony. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Happy whatever day I get to post this video for you guys. I am super excited for today's video because today I'm going to be showing you guys some of the neighborhoods that I grew up in, showing you guys some of the houses that I grew up in, some of the schools that I went to, sharing some memories of my youth and growing up in these different areas and going to these different schools and living in these different neighborhoods. Now, to my recollection, I only remember me living in two different neighborhoods. I was told that I lived in a few more neighborhoods when I was younger, but I distinctly remember the two, and those are the two that I'm going to share with you guys today. Now, I'm not going to go inside of any of the buildings like the schools or anything. I'm just going to show you guys the exterior of it and share any memories that come to mind at that time. But first, I have to run some errands. I have to, first of all, head to LA Fitness and get a good shower and change of clothes. Then I have to fill my gas tank up because I'm going to be doing a lot of driving today. And I also have to go to the bank and get some Canadian currency because I looked it up and they advised that I just take Canadian currency there. I am going to be in Canada for 3 full days to explore, which I am super excited for. As I mentioned to you guys in my previous video, I did cancel my first campground stay, which was supposed to have been from May 26th to June 2nd. And then I extended it from June the 2nd to the 11th. And that's the part that I'm going to start my campgrounding on June the 2nd through the 11th. All right, because I want to come back to Baltimore after Montreal, but I have to stop at PA first so that I can put my things in. So that I can put my things into the new setup, because I'm not taking anything with me now that I'm not going directly to the campground, and I have that time to go back to PA and put everything in there that I want to put in there. And then when I get back to Baltimore, I will have my full setup, and I'm so super excited to get this new setup put into my van. So super excited. All right, enough rambling on, Anthony. Let's get this day going. I'm heading to LA Fitness, get me a nice shower in, get some gas, go to the bank, and let's start our day. Okie dokie, guys, I am all showered and change of clothes. Now, I just now got out the bank and got my currency all straightened out. They actually helped me to do it on my mobile app, so I didn't have to really talk to anyone. It was a woman at the door that was greeting people, and she took me through the process on my mobile phone. So it would take 1 to 2 days. I have it coming back to this branch here since I'll be in Baltimore until, oh, he is cute. I'll be in Baltimore until, I'm telling you, there are cuties everywhere. I'll be in Baltimore until Thursday. I said Friday originally, but I changed it to Thursday so I can have some time to get some things in order and get these, prep my van for going to Montreal. But yeah, so it should be here no later than Thursday, so that's good. Because you remember when I went to Mexico, I didn't get that currency changed over before I went. And I got to Mexico and the currency booth was closed. And I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? So hopefully I will be much prepared this time around. Now I'm about to go and get some gas. And then I'm going to start making my way over to where I grew up and show you guys a little bit around that area. And like I said, share some memories, whatever ones come to mind at the time that I am over there. All right, so let's get some gas. Oh, let me tell y'all, ooh, I met a guy at the gym. Can you believe it? And guess what I didn't do? I was like, Lord Anthony, come on now. I did not get his phone number. I'm so pissed because he was a handsome older guy. Yes, he was handsome. I was in the gym and I was putting on my clothes. I just now showered and everything, and I was putting on my clothes, and he walked by and he looked. I'm telling you, eye contact, y'all. You got to learn that eye contact. And he looked at me, and I was just putting on my clothes. I noticed he looked at me, and then he went out of the dressing room and came back. You know how you do that? That little fake, oh, I forgot something. He came back. And then when I was leaving, get in my van and I was pulling off, he was coming out of the building. And look, I'm getting bold now. I'm telling you, I'm getting bold with this stuff now. I drove up to him and rolled my window down and said hi, and then we started talking. He introduced himself. I introduced myself. He's retired. He's going away. He's going to house sit for the rest of the week or something like that, he was saying. And I was like, okay. He asked me, did I live here? Do I come there often or whatever? And then we chatted for a little bit. And then he said, okay, Anthony, I hope to see you again. And then he kind of put his hand up, tapped my hand. You know how when you're talking to somebody, and he did that. And then after I drove off, then I thought, oh shit, I ain't get his phone number. Man, I went back. I turned around and went back, and he was not there. I was like, how could he have taken off and gone off that parking lot that quick? And anyway, that's it. He was a handsome older guy, boy. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you. Woo, Lord have mercy. Let me get some air on there. Woo, boy, I just took a shower. I can't be having no hot flashes already. I can't be having no hot flashes already. I just took a shower and it's only 9:30 in the morning. Woo! I love myself some older, handsome men. Yes, they are. Woo! He was hot. He told me he usually goes to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. I thought to myself, well, you won't see me there no more. Because I am not getting up 5 o'clock in the morning to go. I might, because he was handsome. Shit. When I come back, because he said he don't like to go there when it's crowded, but something out of the ordinary happened this particular time where he had to go later. Shoot, when I come back to Baltimore, I might go up in there at 5 o'clock in the morning, 1 or 2 days in a row to see if I meet up with him. His name was Wayne. Oh my goodness, I'm a sucker for older handsome men. Oh my goodness. He looked at me like 3 times in passing in the gym in that short period of time. I was like, you know what? And when I saw him coming out of there, I was like, I'm gonna talk to him. I'm not gonna be shy. I'm gonna talk to this man. Well, anyway, I'm at the gas station now. See how quick that was? Everything is in close proximity. I'm gonna go and fill me up some gas. All right. All right, guys, we are approaching our first stop, which is the house that I lived in up until I was 12 years old. That's to my recollection. I was told before that we lived in a couple different homes before we moved to this home when I was much younger. But to my recollection, This is the first. This is the first. Yeah, you know how people just be not paying attention and the light has turned green and they just sitting there and then you gotta beep them. That's what just happened. But this is our. Okay, let me stop talking and pay attention, and I'll see you guys at the first stop. Alright guys, this is the street that I lived on until age 12. Now the last time I was down this way was years and years ago. They changed the whole block. They knocked down the whole block that I lived on and they remodeled it and made it a modern looking home, as you will see. But I'll show you the exact house or the house number that I lived in. I don't even recognize this area. I really don't recognize this area because it's been such a long time since I've been over here. Is this the block? Okay, I have 2 more blocks to go. Wow, it looks so different. I think this is the block, or it's the next block. There's no parking. No, this can't be the block. It has to be the next one. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. This is. Oh my goodness, I passed it. Oh, let me whip around. How in the world I passed it? See, that's why it looks so different to me. That I passed. Okay, see this house right here? See that house? I'm gonna put an arrow to it. That's where one of my best childhood friends lived. We lived a block away. His name was Johnny Johnson. And that's where one of my best childhood friends lived. Okay, wait a minute now. What is going on here? Wait a minute. Is this... Did they tear the houses down completely and put this little field here? I don't know what's going on here. Okay, it has to be this block right here. Yeah, it's this block. Yes, it's this block. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna park right here. Alright. I was like, wait a minute. Alright guys, I am at the house where I used to live. And to my recollection, as I said, I lived in this house until I was 12 years old. And then we moved on the west side, which I'll be showing you guys. This is the house right here, 2106. It was a 3-story home. Yep, 2106. As you guys can see, it's a 3-story home. My family occupied the first floor, and then the second floor had, I don't know whether it was the second and third floor, they had a... Yeah. They had the second and third floor, I think. I don't know whether it was 3 families here or 2. But yeah, this is where I used to live. Of course, it looked nothing like this. They tore the houses down and rebuilt them to look modern like this. This is what the street looked like. Oh yeah, they definitely redid these homes. 2106. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, one of my fondest memories of living in this house was the family fight that we had with the people on the second floor. And when I say family fight, it was a family fight. It was my mother, it was my two brothers, my sister, it was my aunt, my father, and I remember my aunt. She was a pastor. I don't know if she was a pastor at that time. She drove up in her car, boy. she It was like, and she was using some profanities. And then I also remember very clearly that one of my oldest brothers took a tennis ball and threw and hit one of the girls on the head. And then I also remember my little mother just up there trying to get to people. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know what happened or what started this fight. It was three sisters, I think, lived on the first floor. And I don't know what caused the fight. And then my dad came over and somebody pushed him and he fell in the ground. It was a mess. Oh my goodness, this is where I started my life that I remember. And I was a very quiet kid. I always stayed to myself. I remember getting a big wheel for Christmas. Remember the big wheels? One of the things, I always wanted to be a bus driver when I was younger. That was my dream job. I wanted to be a bus driver. So I had a very vivid imagination when it came to becoming a bus driver. So my parents bought me a big wheel. Remember the big wheels? You sit on them, they got the two big wheels in the back and then the one in the front in the middle and the handlebars. I had one, I'm telling you, I loved that big wheel because I rode around the neighborhood stopping at the end of the corners. You know how bus drivers do? They stop at each stop on the corner and let passengers on and off. And that's what I would do around the neighborhood with my big wheel. And I later in life, still at this place, graduated to a bicycle when my parents bought me a bicycle for one Christmas. And I used to do the same thing with the bicycle, ride around the neighborhood, stop at the end of the block like I'm letting people on and all this kind of stuff. See, this is why I believe that I'm very good right now with, I should have shaved today, that I'm very good right now with being by myself because that's how I was as a kid, you know. But, oh, my stomach is growling. I may need to get me something to eat. That was like, and my neighborhood friend, one of my closest neighborhood childhood friends, lived right across the street at 2107, named Michael Madison. And then I told you guys, Johnny Johnson lived down there, a block down. And I used to walk down to his place all the time. But this is the first stop, guys. This is where I lived at that house there until I was 12 years old. So now let's keep moving and I'll show you guys where I went to school. All right, guys, this is the second school that I remember going to. The first school was Oliver Cromwell, which was about 3 blocks that way. But we're going to go to this second school because this second school has a lot of significance in my life, and I'll share that with you guys once I find a parking spot, which is going to be hard to do in this area. And it's only like 2 blocks from where I just now came from. Okay, I'm gonna dip in here right quick because I'm only gonna be here for a little bit. And I'll be close enough that if anybody come over here and try to give me a ticket, I can run over here and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm gonna move. Oh, give me a minute. All right, let's get out. All right, guys, this is my second school that I went to in elementary school. It is Dallas F. Nicholas Elementary School. And I'm gonna tell you guys why this school was so significant in my life. Let me turn around. And that's where, there we go, Dallas F. Nicholas. All right, now let me tell you guys why this school is so significant in my life. Because I was one of the very first students who went to this school when the school opened up for the very first time, the very first year. I remember so clearly because we had this huge parade marching from our old school, Oliver Cromwell, to this school, Dallas F. Nicholas. Now I'm looking for, oh, here it is right here. I was looking for the year that they put, when they make a building, they build a building, the year. And here's the year. I only went here for 1 year, and then we moved over to the west side. See that? 1973 is when we had the big march from Oliver Cromwell Elementary School to our brand new school, Dallas F. Nicholas. Now, this was a very unique school because it had no walls or no separation from classrooms. You can actually see from one classroom to the next. We also had these unique desks where you can pull out the desk and put your books in. It wasn't the old kind of desk where you put your books in. No, this had like a pull out and it became like a suitcase handle or a suitcase type of deal. Very beautiful school. The first year, of course, being used. The gymnasium was beautiful. I bet you if I go in there and if they have a list of students' names, my name should be on that list. All right, one of the other memories that just came to mind when I lived at that house that I just now showed you guys was, it was 3 guys, 3 brothers there that was always in, I don't know, had tension with my brothers and me. And one day, one of them took a Coca-Cola bottle and threw over the fence and bust my head open. I had to go to the hospital and get some stitches. And I'm like, well, I'm the quiet one. Why y'all busting my head open? I'm the quiet one. They probably was taking it out on me what my brothers was doing. All right, guys, so those are the 2 significant places that I remember living on the east side, where I lived until I was 12 years old. And then this particular school that I went to, I only went to that school for 1 year, and then we moved over on the west side where I'm about to go over and show you guys some things over there. So let's head on over to the west side. All right, guys, I want to make one more stop before we head over to the west side. And I want to show you guys one of my favorite restaurants that I always went to probably every weekend once I got older and ate. And I'm glad to see that it is still there. I'm not gonna go over there, I'm not gonna go in there. I'm just gonna show it to you guys and tell you why it was one of my favorite restaurants. All right, guys, there it is. I'm so happy to see that it's still there. It's the Bar restaurant. I came here even after I moved from off of the east side and moved on the west side. I still made it a point to come over here to the Bar. Now, there are a couple reasons why I really love that restaurant. One, it is gay owned, and a lot of the LGBT community patronize that place and support that place, which I absolutely love. The second thing was the 2 things on the menu that I really love. I either got one or the other of these 2 things. One was the wings. They are known for the chicken wings. They are so good. And the second thing that I really loved getting there was the chicken and cheese steak sub with fries. So good. The bun was so soft. The cheese was melted. Oh my goodness. I should go in there and get me some lunch, but it's too early. So that's another significant place. That's a significant place that I went to all the time. The Bar, gay owned, LGBT supports that restaurant, and I love that place still today. All right, let's get back in this van and head to the west side. They've done some changes here. They have this whole red section on the sides where only buses can drive, and that was never there years and years ago. I remember when our subway opened up years and years ago. It was really exciting. I started catching the subway to work when I first started working in the printing industry, and I didn't have a car, but luckily I was in walking distance to a subway station, and I was able to get to work until I got a car. Here's the subway station that I used to walk to, the Penn North subway stop. Alright, before I get to the house that I lived in, ooh, that boy looked familiar to me. Before I get to the house, I'm gonna make another stop and show you guys another place that I frequent all the time throughout my childhood. I wonder if they're still there. I'm trying to look ahead to see. Things look mighty different around here. I have not been on this side of town for like forever. Years and years. Now this side of town looks a lot different than where I just showed you guys the house that I lived in up until I was 12 years old. Because this side looks a lot more abandoned than the east side. I can't wait to see what the house looks like that I lived in. It's probably abandoned. Alright guys, this little pit stop, I'm gonna do it really quick because it's like some shady guys next to my van or close to my van, and I want to hurry up and show you guys this spot so I can get back to my van and get off of that street. Alright, so the place that I'm gonna show you guys is where I got my chicken box from. Now you cannot live in the city and not have gone to chicken boxes and got chicken boxes from your favorite chicken box place. And this is my favorite chicken box place. K&K. Yes, K&K. And they're located right there, North Avenue and Fulton Avenue. So guys, that's where I got my chicken box from. It was so good. I used to get a chicken box with salt, pepper, and hot sauce on it. And I'm telling you, I know that I went there almost every weekend and got myself some chicken boxes. You cannot live in the city and not have eaten chicken boxes. All right, back to my van, and I'll show you guys the house that I lived in. All right, this is the house right here. 1648. 1648. This is where I used to live. I knew it was this big old tree wasn't here, that's for sure. But there it is. I knew it was going to be abandoned because a lot of these houses were abandoned. And I'm gonna walk down here, 5 doors. Right here at this house here, 1640. This is where one of my longest, closest friends lived. And this is where I met Lamont. His cousin lived here at 1640. And then on the same block down here at 1630 is where my grandmother lived, my mother's mother. She lived right here at 1630. Yep. This brings back so many memories, and I'm going to walk you guys around just for a second, couple minutes, because right across the street was a bar slash what is where I got my junk food from, my buttered popcorn and stuff like that.
All right, get the hell on the work.
And you can see it across there. I have a story to tell you guys about this place. Okay, I mentioned on our channel before the story of when I got hit in the mouth and this guy tried to snatch my $20 bill. Well, that's the store that happened to, and right there across the street from the house that I used to live in. And he didn't get my $20 bill, that's for sure. Now, we're gonna take a short walk down to the next street, because this was my second favorite store to come to and get my little snacks. They sold a lot of penny cookies. You remember back in the days when cookies were a penny and you can take a quarter and get 25 cookies? Oh my goodness, I used to tear those little coconut cookies up. I didn't like oatmeal cookies or anything. They had some coconut cookies that was so good. And I'm telling you, you can take 10 cents and come to the store and get 10 cookies. Oh my God, those were the days, the best days. So I walked here, I took this little walk almost every weekend when I started getting allowances, and I was able to go to the movies on my own. This is where my movie going began, and I love movies. And this store right here behind me, this store right here was one of my favorite stores to get my 1 cent cookies. This bus stop right here, I am on Fulton Avenue. This bus stop right here, and it's still a bus stop. How about that? Oh my goodness. Look at this. How about that? Still a bus stop. This is the bus stop that I walked to as a kid and caught the #1 Fort McHenry bus to go to the movies. I also caught the bus right here at this very corner when I wanted to go downtown or go to a baseball game. This is the corner that I caught the #1 bus, Fort McHenry. I also could catch the 19 a couple blocks up. But yeah, this is the little neighborhood that I lived in. Of course, it's all abandoned looking. We had some really, really fun times sitting on the porch and on the steps of each of our homes throughout the summer, laughing, having good times. It was the absolute best. That was back when kids can be outside playing street football and all that stuff. I played a little street football and a little baseball at the school lots and here on the streets. It was absolutely amazing. I wanted to show you guys something. I think I passed it. Okay, I'm not going back. This was our rivalry street, the next street over when it came to like baseball games and football games. McKean Street, McKean Avenue. And right here in this house right here, the Adams family lived there. I'm serious, the Adams family. Patricia Adams, Jerome Adams. And right here at this house right here, 1811, Thea lived there. And her brother Marcus, who did not like me. So let's take a little short drive and I'll show you guys the elementary school that I went to when I moved over here to the west side. All right, guys, this is the elementary school that I went to when I moved from the east side to the west side. I went here for the 5th and 6th grade year. So let me show you guys. Man, I left just in time because the street person was just coming, you know, to give you tickets and stuff. And I would have got the ticket. Alrighty. Alright, here's a look at the other side of the school. They got a lot of grass and stuff there now that wasn't there years ago. It was more like, what do you call that? Blacktop type of surface where you can play baseball. Nor did they have this yellow and blue plaything for the kids. All right, guys, before I head to the high school that I went to and show you guys that, I have one more place to show you guys, and this was a very significant place in my childhood, and I'll show you guys what it is and why this particular place was so significant in my childhood once I get there. And this is where I came almost every day after school, Easterwood Recreation Center. So let's take a walk up. They need somebody to cut this grass. You know, when the yellow daisies or something coming up, it's time for a grass cutting. All right. Now this place here is where I love and learned how to play ping pong. I came here almost every day to play ping pong. It's a squirrel in the trash can. Yep, Easterwood Recreation Center. Yep. They have a basketball court right there that has always been there. A tennis court down that way. The football field is right behind the building. But this is where I came almost every day when I moved over to the west side. And not only did I learn how to play ping pong here, I also participated in a lot of recreation competitions where different recreation centers get together. I remember participating in a obstacle course competition where we competed against other local recreation centers and different obstacle courses and everything. That was so much fun, as I recall. I also participated at this recreation center a poetry competition. Now, it wasn't your standard poetry reading type deal where people get up and read a poem of some sort. This was a act out the poem, you know, like you were an actor or something. And I told you guys that I did go to, I was in school plays in high school, and I went to acting place during my youth for many years, and I participated at the Arena Players. I was an actor there. So, and I was in a play with the former mayor, or one of the mayors of Baltimore. And I can't even think of her name. Well, I can't think of her name right now. Anywho, what was her name? God, I hope she ain't watching this channel. But yeah, I was in a play with her and her brother back in the days. And then as she became an adult, she became the mayor of Baltimore, which she is not now. But yeah, this is a very significant place for me in my childhood. I came here mostly every day after school. I practiced playing ping pong. I became very good at ping pong. I'm still relatively okay with ping pong right now, but not like it was when I was younger. And I'm telling you, there was some serious competitors, local other kids around that knew how to play ping pong very well. And whoa, and I guess that's how I learned how to play very well, playing against those people. But this is good, and I'm so happy to see that they still have this here and that it's still open for kids around the community to come in and participate in like arts and crafts and all kinds of good things to help keep the kids off the street. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, I think that's it. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not, Anthony. What are you talking about? You have one more stop, and that's the high school. So I'm gonna show you guys where I went to high school. All right, guys, as I am walking towards the school, it looks like they changed it. It looks like it's no longer a school. It looks like it's some type of hospital. Because look at this sign over there. Look at that sign, home and hospital. Why would that be there if this is, I think it is a school. I think it's still a school, but I don't know if it's a high school. I'm a little baffled. But this is the high school that I went to. It was back then called Warbrook High School. And I see signs there that says first grade line up here, kindergarten line up here, and second grade line up here. So it looks like it's still a school, but not a high school. I'm about to ask this woman in the car. Okay, I just now asked the lady that was sitting in her car, and she obviously is a worker there. And she said it's no longer a high school, it's a elementary middle school. And I asked her how long has it been an elementary middle school, and she said this is their third year in this building. So no more Warbrook High School. This is a nice building. I went here when the school was just 13 years old is when I went here, and I did 4 years here. And this is where I was in my high school plays, and I had one of my best teachers. My favorite two teachers were from this high school. Was my drama teacher named Miss Pascal and my English teacher, Miss Snee. They were my favorite high school teachers here at this school that is no longer a high school now. Alrighty, guys. Alright, so that is going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed my little nostalgic video of where I grew up. Showed you guys some places that I grew up, a couple places where I lived, and some other little schools and things of that nature. I had a fun time making this video and taking you guys around, showing you those things. As always, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys, you know that, and I'll see you guys the next time.